Hey, it's Lee, and I'm here with my first pickups video in a little while. Just haven't really had the opportunity to go out shopping too much. I went to visit my parents for a weekend. I did a few other things, but this past weekend I did try to hit some yard sales. It was the weekend after Labor Day, which is not usually the best day to go, but it actually also means that there's less people out looking at the yard sales. Didn't do very well at the yard sales. Didn't see anything particularly special. But we did end up going to a couple kind of non-game stores, but we were able to find a few things. So I'm actually going to start with the last place we went to. We ended up kind of giving up on games altogether. Decided to just kind of explore. And there's a place I always wanted to go to close to a town called Maniwaki. And in Maniwaki, didn't realize how big a city it was. They actually had a game store there. It was brand new, had just opened 2 weeks ago, had very little inventory, but they did have a few old games they were trying to get rid of. I believe they also have a store somewhere else. So they had Xbox and PS2 games and GameCube games, and they had them for fairly cheap. Of course, they were not the rare titles that you're always looking for, but I thought, I'm in the middle of nowhere. I never expected to find games here. I'm going to buy something. It's going to give me something to talk about. So the first game I picked up there was this, which is Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter. Nice thing about it, it's complete. It's in perfect shape. And the price was also good because they said if you buy one, you pay regular price. If you buy two, you get 50% off. Basically, they were trying to get rid of inventory. So I got 50% off on this, plus the second game that I picked up there, which is Project Eden. Now, I don't know too much about either of these games. I know that Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter, apparently you're a bounty hunter, but like in space, so you chase aliens or humans, I think. Then this PS2 game, Project Eden. The only thing I really know about this is that I believe it's developed by the same people as Tomb Raider. That's not necessarily a bad thing, right? This Mace Griffin Bounty Hunter was listed at $5. Project Eden was listed at $3. So add that up, that's $8. I paid 50% of that, so $4. 2 games added to my collection. I know they're not the most exciting titles, and that's absolutely fine. I did not expect to find any games out where I was. So the other place I went was it's a place I used to go to a lot to buy CDs. Because, I still collect CDs. I like the looks of them. I like having a collection. But I found this there. They actually have really stepped up their video game of late. They even have some ColecoVision stuff. Granted, the selection isn't amazing, but in terms of PS2, Xbox, and GameCube for a while at least, GameCube's been cleaned out pretty well. They've always had a few decent titles. So this is Panzer Dragoon Orta, and I was a little bit inspired by the fact that last time I went out, I picked up Panzer Dragoon for Panzer Dragoon Sway for very cheap. But yeah, Panzer Dragoon Orta, I actually paid twice as much as I paid for Panzer Dragoon Zwei, or even more than twice that much. This was about $20, and the truth of it is that's not a great price. It's a little bit cheaper than I would have gotten it at the kind of game-specific stores in town, but not by that much. But $20, whatever. I've wanted it. It gave me, at the time I didn't have any content for this video, so it gave me something to show off. Now I've got 3 games from this weekend. While I was at the CD store, and this is not a video game, but I also picked up a CD. I've been feeling super nostalgic lately for kind of like, what do they call it, post-hardcore, but I just call it pop punk from the early 2000s. Wasn't really my scene all that much. Don't get me wrong, I listened to quite a bit of it back then, but it wasn't my favorite type of music at the time. But for some reason, I've really been listening to it a ton lately, and this album specifically Story of the Year. I went to see them in concert live, and I really, really enjoyed that live concert. And their album, even before that live concert, had been among those kinds of that genre of music, the one I listened to the most. Some notable songs from this: Until the Day I Die, probably my favorite song on the album, and then Anthem of Our Dying Day. Yeah, they both have die in it, whatever. Really good album. If you guys ever get the chance to check it out, obviously I know most people don't buy CDs, but go on iTunes and download some of these songs, or check them out on YouTube if you need to before you buy them on iTunes. But yeah, not a bad collection overall for the weekend. Nothing particularly rare. Obviously, Panzer Dragoon is probably the rarest of these games. A CD to top it all off that we could listen to while driving out to the middle of nowhere to pick up the bottom two games. Also, kind of stopped at a chocolate place. I'd show you the chocolate, but it's all in my belly now. It was delicious, though. It was really good. So yeah, those are my pickups for the week. I'm sorry I haven't had as many pickups of late. I do think I'm going to be going out this weekend, and I'm probably going to be fairly aggressive because this is my payday kind of outing, and I tend to go a little nuts. Granted, I am trying to be a little bit better this winter. Just trying to kind of pay off my debts a little bit quicker, which means less games, more debt paying. All right, thanks for watching.